You a Star Wars fan? Because you'll be amazed at number one, that a lot of women might be into the shit that you're into, but you're so worried about her judging you that you don't give it half a chance. But also some of the things that you're not into, you'll be amazed at how women would want to get into it because they want to get closer to you.
A lot of times they say shit like, "Oh, I'm free on weekends," or I'm usually free on Thursdays," or whatever the hell. So if it makes sense, then I schedule a date.
If she really liked you from the get-go, there would be no reward system you would have to look for to do anything for, right? Because it would automatically be there, And I like to do this in conversation sometimes. When you're speaking with somebody and you'll hear a girl say something like, "I'll never do this," or "I don't like this," or "I don't like that." And then you'll notice you'll say, "Nah, I kind of like it. I like it when blah, blah, blah." And she's like, well, yeah, when you say it like that, I like it, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you switched up awfully fast for somebody that just really said they don't like something. And so, there's always been clues out there for fellas to understand, like, yo, if they really like you, they will change their whole political party.
They're not giving her real instruction. They're not letting her know what it really is. And most dudes don't do it. Most dudes don't say what it is because they're afraid to hear no, or they're afraid to bring up sex too early and all of this and all of that. But the bottom line is this. Either, again, and somebody said it, either she's feeling you or she's not. You understand? Either she's feeling you or she's not. We got to stop all this nonsense, man. Guys are too afraid to hear no, and it's like I'd rather hear no than to waste 2, 3, 4 dates and time spent, money spent, and all this other shit just to find out that you wasn't feeling me any damn way. You see what I'm saying? But so with me, first date is cool. If you don't want to do it on the first date, no problem. You could be on your period or whatever it is. There's a lot of things that could be off on the first date, right? It doesn't matter. But second date, you gotta know what it
is. For me, I like exclusive vagina to me. And that's because I don't want to catch nothing to have my later years messed up. And I like to stroke without no condom on. It feels great. So I like this.
So you like to be hugged by the sugar walls? You like to be hugged?
Yeah. I like that velvet, plush velvet. The smoothness. So,
but even then, Jay Roman, I hear you.
He don't get up for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So, and the reason is because he has to conserve his energy to do 3 full workouts a day up until his competition date. You understand? So when he's in season, he literally just works out as hard as he can. Then he sits on the couch and his wife brings him everything. The only thing she don't do is fucking piss for him, right? So what I'm saying is, it's one thing to have a wife that does it, because you said earlier, these were the words you used. You said a woman who says, "Oh, I rock with this dude, so I don't mind doing this." But see, it's a difference between a woman who doesn't mind and a woman who cheerfully wants to do it. Understand the position of a simp. Make sure you understand the position of a friend zone nigga. Make sure you understand that a man doesn't do anything for nothing. You understand? So run the game, be careful, and do what you got to do.
And that's the right there, Jay Roman. And that's the problem. Your main chick should always be prioritized over all the new chicks. Right? The new chicks should not get preferential treatment. Right? So what would make it difficult for a lot of women is if you're giving girlfriend treatment to the new chick. Right? So this is why when you very first meet women, you have to establish boundaries and parameters where they got to earn everything. So that way, when the main chick is with you and she knows you're dealing with new women, she knows they have to go through the gauntlet too. They just don't get shit quicker. Like
labyrinth, streets be the maze. Hosts on the mic, carry case set in the blaze. Sagging, Miles Cunham with the game so tight. J. Roman lit the torch, keeping it right. Manhood's the challenge, skill set to master. In a world moving fast, gotta move faster. Trap beat, pounding 808, shake the floor. Guided by the host, wisdom like law. Carry K drops jewels, the crowd enthralled. Words cut deep, no need for brawls. Miles Cunningham, tactics sharp like a dagger. Navigates the game, makes the haters stagger. Journey to manhood, no easy feat. Lessons from the masters, words concrete. J. Roman with the keys, opens the door. Manhood's the path, gotta crave for more. Manhood's the challenge, skill set to master. In a world moving fast, gotta move faster. Trap beat, pounding 808, shake the floor. Guided by the host, wisdom like law.
Just spilled coffee.
What's good? What's good?
Yo, what's going on? Hold on.
What up?
All right, everybody get situated. Get situated, my brother. Do your thing.
Yo.
Get into
we good?
it.
We good? Can you hear me?
Miles J. Roman, what's good?
What up?
Yeah, I got you. What's good, my dude?
All right.
All righty.
Oh.
Oh, real quick, before I forget. Next weekend, I'm going to be out of pocket. The Manhood is a skill set show. Real game, no theory. I won't be there for none of that shit. I'm going to be doing what I do. On a plane going somewhere. Leave it at that. Oh, Miles, I got to hit you up later. Matter of fact, you're on vacation. When you get back to the States, Miles?
Wednesday, I think. Wednesday.
I might be gone by then. All right, so I might be gone by then because you said you've been to a certain place. CR. I'm not gonna say the name. CR.
Yeah. No, I can hit you up before then. Yeah, we could.
Cool. Yeah, then. Yeah, cool. Because I ain't never been there into some shit. I kind of want to get some insight from you. All right, so what are we talking about today? Does your interaction style scream friend zone to women? And throughout all of these different live streams that we do. One common theme is guys have a difficult time communicating themselves to women effectively. They just don't know how to communicate effectively. And a lot of times, guys, they think a woman's lack of interest is because of something superficial or shallow, like height and looks and all that other shit. I mean, and sometimes it could be that, but a lot of times it's just the way you're communicating yourself to women isn't doing anything for them. Okay, period. Now, before we get into that, let me just say what's up to some people who we got in here. Wicked Scorpion was good, fam. Who else we got up in here? Okay. Danny P was good. Duke Lux, TMJ5 was good with you, brother. Boxing Plug was good. Mark Tavius. Well, that sounds like some Roman shit. That sounds like some emperor. That sounds like a strong name. Mark Tavius. Augustus Caesar. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a strong name, brother. Unique 79 was good with you, brother. Who else we got up in here? Jameer Miller. Jillian T was good, baby girl. Who else we got in here? And I know I saw Jazzy Jazz was good, baby girl was good. Angel Gruero. I'm trying to roll my R's. Who else we got up in here? Frankie Shaw was good with you. Yard Night. If I miss somebody, don't get offended. Unique 79, I think I said what's up to you. All right, fuck it. Let's get into this, man. Blastomatic Steel was good. So,
am I the only one hearing you popping? Like you,
the microphone?
There's a little static.
Oh, you know what? I hear it too, but I didn't want to say nothing because I know I'm traveling, and sometimes when I'm traveling, my audio be whack, but I hear it too.
But it's me when I talk, though? Is it?
Yeah. See when you talk.
Right. Yeah, okay.
I'll fuck, but it ain't sound like no robot, though, right?
No, you don't sound like a robot, but it's like every couple of seconds, it's like...
Okay.
Like you
sound.
I'll
fuck with that in a minute. We'll play with that in a minute. So, ladies and gents, now the call-in lines. Are we doing the call-in lines today, Miles?
Oh shit! Yeah. We're doing the call-in lines.
I didn't want to assume because I know you traveling and shit. So guys, give Miles a second The call-in line is scrolling at the bottom. 1-844. Wait for that shit to come back. 1-844-672-7300. Please call in, right? Even if you have an off-topic question or inquiry, please call in. But also, guys, if you have questions, get them in now. Miles is on vacation. He ain't got time to be fucking with you niggas. He's trying to get back to his boo, right? So,
in so many words.
In so many words. So y'all come on with it so the brother can get back to what he's doing, right?
All right. No, that was me. I was just making sure it works. Yeah. So we good. We good. So guys, go ahead and call in.
Okay, cool. So yeah, call in, guys. Also get your questions in. Please put a Q in the chat, followed by your question so we can see it. Does your interaction style scream friend zone to women? Now, Miles, before we get into this, you got anything you want to plug, anything you want to talk about?
Masculine identity, man. Make sure y'all go to the website masculineidentity.com. Also go to masculineidentitymembership.com. That'll take you straight to the membership. But if you go to masculineidentity.com, you could get the membership, but you could also get other products. Guys, I want to tell you, I did a talk on with King Dre the other day. It's called the Masculine Identity Blueprint. It's a 2-hour talk. And the product is there on masculineidentity.com. Y'all can check that out, man. And then also go to cunninghamelements.com. Make sure you get your masculine identity eau de parfum and masculine identity sport eau de parfum. And I want to say something real quick because I'm traveling yesterday, and you know how there was a Joe Malone and Tom Ford and Clinique fragrance store in the airport, right?
Yeah.
And I stopped in to speak to one of the salespeople, and I pulled out my stuff because I had my stuff on me, and I let them smell it, and my stuff was comparable to their shit. Like the lady literally found a Clinique fragrance that was similar to mine, and she also found a Clinique fragrance that was similar to the Sport. You understand? And they were very similar. Mine was just a little bit better as far as being more masculine and things like that. So. And again, I didn't copy nothing. I literally just came up with the fragrance from the notes and the scents that I wanted to include in my fragrance. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that real quick because it was interesting to see that, like, literally the fragrance that I came up with on my own was on par with Clinique, which is a brand that's been around for years. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to let y'all know that. So, get with it.
So Miles, from a retail perspective,
yeah,
have you reached out to people maybe to put your joint in certain retail markets? Have you considered that, or you just want to just?
No, I haven't done that yet because the stage that I'm at now is I'm just trying to really get it out there. That's why you see the bottles are so small. The bottles that I have are so small, right? Because I'm really just trying to get it out there so people could get familiar with the fragrance.
All right.
My next step is to actually create the bottle. So I'll be able to sell like a full size bottle towards next year. And then once I get that underway, then I'll be able to talk to brands or to talk to retail stores to get it in retail stores when it actually is in a full size bottle.
Yeah. If you really think about it right now, it's pretty dope that the people do have it. It is exclusive.
Exactly.
Right? So it ain't that big yet where somebody could say, oh, that's that one joint's like, what is that? Who is that? Like, who makes that? Who from where? And a lot of the cats that follow you, it's almost like it's a very, very exclusive item.
Exactly.
That nobody could get right now unless you know.
Exactly. Philly, pause. I feel you, but pause.
So, guys,
man, go to cunninghamelements.com, and get your eau de parfum. We got the Sport and we got the original Masculine Identity Sport, Masculine Identity eau de parfum original. Make sure y'all go get that.
Yeah, and if we can have one of the moderators, please, if y'all can put the links to Miles's joint, but also it's scrolling at the bottom next to the phone number as well. CunninghamElements.com, and also Manhood is the skillset.com. And also you see Masculine Identity. I keep forgetting to change that shit to a different color so you can see it better. But I'll fuck with that shit later. So my J-Ron, what's going on with you?
Nothing much, man. I got a list of priority stuff I be knocking down. That's just how I do it. I'm gonna be making some things happen. I don't even like to talk about it anymore because I'm one of them type of people. Like if I don't see the end, I don't start at the beginning. I got to map it all out on all my stages, and just I don't know if that's a good habit, a bad habit, but it is just me. So I got some things that I've been doing, and I'm just trying to slowly chop away at the weeds to make sure everything stays smooth. Because I don't like to start nothing and then I can't consistently maintain it. So,
all right, cool.
Can I say something else real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
And I sent out the email to all my members, but I just wanted to like announce it as well. So guys, anybody that is expecting or if you're expecting to be on the Zoom call, which is usually Monday night, I just want to let y'all know we're going to be doing the Zoom call on Sunday 11 p.m. Sunday 11 p.m. because Monday is actually my birthday, and so I'm gonna be celebrating on Monday. So Monday around 11 p.m. I'm gonna be doing things that will not allow me to be on the Zoom call. If you understand what I'm saying. So
it's 11 p.m. Central.
I'll be on the Zoom call, but I won't be paying attention.
11 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So guys, if for guys that be on the masterclass Zoom call Monday night, it's not gonna be Monday night. It's gonna be Sunday night. This coming Sunday. So make sure you make sure you look out for that. I sent the email out as well. So make sure if you're a member, if you're on a masculine identity membership, make sure you check your emails so you can be updated because we're gonna be on Sunday night 11 p.m. Eastern, not Monday night 11 p.m. Eastern. Just for this coming Sunday, because like I said, my birthday fell on a Monday, so there's nothing I can do about that.
There we go. So fuck it, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Remember, the call-in line is open 1-844-672-7300. Scrolling at the bottom. Also, if you have a question, please get your questions in as soon as you can. Shout out to Bots and Plugs. So let's get the first one. Now, he says, what puts a man in the friend zone? Is it his lack of transparency or true intentions? I mean, there's and we're gonna talk about that too. Right, matter of fact, let me do this. Fuck it, let's get into it right now. Hold on, let me throw this up there, guys. Where did it go? I thought I had that shit right. Oh, right here, right there. And this is actually number 7 because there was 10 points. But fuck it, since he brought it up, we might as well get to this one first. Let me throw this up there. My bad, y'all. I'm kind of slow today. Okay, hold on, right there. Let me grab it. Okay, cool. Now, since you asked the question, that's actually one of the joints that we're going to talk about. Oh, is it messing up now? The audio is bad?
Yeah, it's clipping. It's like it's clipping more and more.
It sounds like you got popcorn every time you.
All right, cool. If y'all can go ahead and discuss that, I'll be back.
Okay. All right. So yeah, excessive friendliness, lack of sexual and romantic intent. Yeah. So I'll put it like this. I'll say it like this. The bottom line is a man puts himself in the friend zone, and sometimes he does it unknowingly because he's reluctant to be honest, reluctant to be straightforward. And so what happens is, see, the thing that I know about women is that a woman, she wants all the options. You understand? So the more indirect you are, with a woman, is the more you give her the opportunity to get more options from you. Okay. So this is why you have to be a little bit more direct, and you have to be a little bit more. If you know you want sex from a woman, you got to speak on that. If you know you just want to smash, you got to speak on that, and you got to behave in that way. You understand? So this is why we tell you guys about, like, trying to take women out to dinner and all this other like friendly shit. It's like you got to be careful with what you say and how you say it, and letting the woman know what you want. Now, here's the thing. Most guys don't want to be honest and upfront because they don't want to hear the word no. You understand? But the thing is, you're better off hearing the word no and getting to the truth of the matter so you can move on from the woman, and so you don't have to lie to her, and you don't have to have any misconstrued situations. And this is also what causes a lot of nonsense when it comes to, quote unquote allegations and certain other things that might happen as far as a misunderstanding. So you need a woman to know exactly what it is, so she don't try to put you in a box with any other options. So she knows you're not her friend. You're not trying to be her friend. You're trying to smash. But you got it, Jay.
I mean, this question, I don't know, man, hit directly at me. Does your interaction style scream friend zone to women?
Right.
And it took me a minute to really kind of understand, and because there's a dilemma that you have. You are who you are, and you have your personality, and you have your identity. And then if that identity doesn't match with somebody else, is it just the identity, or is it certain things that you are doing that you wonder about, right? So for me, I'm a friendly, funny person. You know, I'm not the dude that walks in the joint and gives everybody a rough stare or glares and, you know, stands in the corner and the girl goes, wow, who is that guy? You know, I'm the guy that comes in and he's like, what's up? Like, if I see somebody I don't even like, you know, I'm going to make sure, yeah, I'm here in the party. I'm enjoying myself too. So I hope you like the fact that I'm enjoying myself, hater. You know, so I'm that type of person that's like, you know, y'all hung around me. You know, I'm not. I got a different personality than some people, and so when I was younger, I had to figure out how to turn funny into fucking. And see, and that's the thing. Like, some dudes have this outgoing personality, but at some point it looks goofy, right? And I just think that with any personality style that you have, you have to be balanced. And it's not just about women too, because once you turn goofy to a dude, or goofy to work, or goofy, you know, and that's not what you're trying to portray, then still you have a personality thing where you got to understand you should be balanced in your life, period. So you know, I think it's a thing that.
Real quick, how's my volume sound?
You good? I don't hear no popping.
I'm gonna jump in this after you. Go ahead, J. Roman.
I think it's just, you know, I like to kind of, the things that we ask is easily stated for us because we work through it. But I think for some youngsters, it's kind of hard for them to see that balance and to see that fine line, because there's a fine line between things. And I think that, yeah, you want your own personality, but your personality should include a certain balance for when you want to be taken serious, when you want to look at her dead in her eyes and say something and she don't think you being funny about it. So
So here's the thing, and I've said this for a long time. What a lot of guys have to understand is when you're interacting with women, specifically women who might be attracted to you and you don't know. And let me just say this about that. Guys, there are going to be times where you're interacting with women who are attracted to you, but they might not make it obvious, right? And the reason they're not making it obvious is because they want to see where you're ultimately leading it to, the conversation to. Because if you're trying to do something other than what they want to do, they might want to hear what you have to say, right? And an example of that could be this. If you're dealing with a woman who is sexually attracted to you and you can take her home tonight, if you're offering a date, shit, she might want to take that too. Like, fuck it. Taking a date, I'll take both, right? So it's still popping?
Yeah, it's not as bad, but it's still good. It's still pop. I mean, just let you know. You could keep going, but I'm just letting you know.
Okay. All right. If it gets worse, just let me know, and then I'll fuck with
it.
So,
all right.
So
it
what
might
I
be
want,
a volume
guys,
thing, because when you get louder, it does it a little bit more. Just to
Oh, it does. Okay, you know what? Let me regulate my volume. Hold on, real quick, guys. Let me do this. I have that feature here to regulate them. Okay, maybe that'll help. Maybe it won't. Okay, so what guys have to understand is part of what makes a woman desire you.
It
is
helped.
that you're showing it help?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's showing you're showing that you desire her. Because y'all got to remember, women are always thinking about being judged, being seen as easy or hoes or whatever. Go ahead.
Exactly. We got 856. You are on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. We got K Zag, J Roman, and Miles. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Hey, Masters. My name is Suck Slave. I'm 35 and in Jersey.
Okay.
What you say your name was?
Yeah. Get ready to let him go in a minute.
Yeah.
Susie.
Okay. Do you have a question, or you wanna add to the conversation?
I just wanted to say how sexy I think you.
All right.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
knew
cool.
something was up with
Yeah.
that.
We knew that. We knew that was coming.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and J. Roman, I saw you pointing, so I know you want to speak to us. I'm gonna be brief and pass it back to you. And women will tell you damn, I wish this guy would get to the point of showing me that he's interested in me because I want
Right.
him, but
want
I
him
don't want
too.
to jump the gun and assume, because then if he don't, I'll look stupid or I'll look
Right.
desperate. Y'all get
Right.
it.
Now my figure point was agreeing, because like I said, I had to work through that in my younger times, because I know who I am, and that's the thing. Like, you know, I like to, this is how I roll through places, you know what I'm saying? So that's my personality, that's who I am, that's my identity that I'm cool with.
Yeah.
But with everything you do, there are also consequences and repercussions, good or bad. So, you know, I'm the type of person that I've gotten into so many places for free just because of this personality and the way I speak to people, and, you know, go up and be like, hey, man, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about just females or anything, but just like, you know, the way I interact with people. Now, I noticed sometimes where back in the day, you know, in my younger days, there was women that were attracted to me, but I was being too funny and too goofy that attraction died. And I remember one girl told me later on that she's like, you're just always out and speaking to everybody and just laughing and talking with everybody. Like, what's so different about me? And, you know, really it was nothing. But, you know, but it gave me the point that the way I interacted with her was the same with everybody. So she didn't see the difference and see the attraction that was there from me to her.
There you go. And
Right.
that
You know
makes a difference. See, in our male mind, right, a lot of guys, they would be like, what's the big deal? I'm fucking with her. I'm talking. But in her mind, she's like, I want to feel sexy to him. I want to feel like he wants me. I want to feel like a woman, right? And you will hear women say that, right? I want to feel like a woman, and that's it. Because y'all got to remember, for women, it's more important for them to feel sexually desired than a man, right? And the reason why I say that, because most guys just do this, and then you attract women that way. But women have always known that their beauty and their sexuality is what attracts men to them, right? So if you're talking to a woman who might be feeling you in that regard, but you're just talking real regular, and she's attracted to you, she might, bro, real quick, and I hate to even tell this story, bro. Years and years ago, I was on the phone with a chick. And I'm having, like you, J. Rome, I'm just having I'm just chilling, I'm just talking. And under her breath, she said, take charge already. Under her breath, nigga. And I was like, what you say?
What you say?
Yes, bro. But she told me because she was attracted to me. And in her mind, she was like, yeah, this chit chat shit is cool, but nigga, I want some dick. What about that? Like, let's talk about that, right? And I actually had another chick one time where we were talking, and she said, what did you say you were going to do with your dick again? And bro, I didn't say nothing about sex, but I guess in her mind, she wanted to move the conversation along, right? And you're not always going to get women who do that. Some of them, to your point, Jay Roman, they'll just stop from you because they'll assume that you either don't want them or you don't know what you're doing, which I got it.
Yeah. You know, it's again, I tell guys all the time, like, you put yourself in the friend zone. You understand? See, I think one of the huge problems with the situation is that dudes are afraid. They're afraid of women. They're afraid of like society. They're afraid of the whole, like, the Me Too thing and certain other things. They're afraid of talking about sex too early, and my thing is this. It's like, truthfully, at the end of the day, like with anything else in life, if you're afraid, you're not going to actually get what you want out of this life. If you're afraid to take action, if you're afraid to make moves, if you're afraid to be honest and direct about what you want, you're not going to get what you want out of life. And a lot of guys is going to come with the same like talking points and issues as Jay Roman was mentioning about how, you're a naturally, friendly and funny and sociable person. But at the same time, you still got to let a woman know, hey, I'm friendly and sociable, but I'm trying to fuck you too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not complimenting you. You know what I'm saying? And even if you gotta whisper it in her ear or whatever. But the bottom line is, at some point you gotta be directly honest. Yeah, we could laugh, we could joke all night. But just understand, I'm trying to get you home and bend you over the couch. This is what I'm really trying to do. So it's like, guys gotta see, and this is why we explain to you guys about, approaching 25 women a day and playing the numbers game and things like that, because you need to learn how to deal with how women respond to you, especially when it comes to talking about things that you initially might be afraid to talk about. You understand? Because look, I'm not gonna act as if I don't know that people act weird when people talk about sex. Okay, I'm not gonna act like sometimes people don't get bent out of shape when you're very direct, or if you're acting quote unquote raunchy or vulgar or explicit. I'm not gonna act like that. But at the same time, you need to practice. You need to learn what it looks like when a woman is interested in you sexually as well. You need to learn what it looks like where when you say hello to a woman, you need to be able to listen to the tone of her voice. You need to do things like move in close and see if she moves in close back. You need to put your, learn how to, just, like how when you're talking to somebody and you might touch them on their shoulder, or if you might, sometimes a person speaks with their hands, but they might like tap you on your shoulder just to kind of, emphasize a word or a point that they're trying to make, right? It's the same thing when you're talking to a woman. You're trying to emphasize something and you want to make a physical connection. So you might put your hand on her thigh. See how she responds when you do that. You understand? Or a lot of times I've been on dates and I'll like, I'll tell her to move closer to me, and then I'll be like, I'm gonna put my arm around you, and then I'll put my arm around her. You understand? And I'll see her reaction, be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna just put my hand right here. You understand? Or I'm gonna put my hand at the bottom of your back, or I'll let her know what I'm going to do just to see her reaction. Yeah. But the bottom line is, guys out here, you cannot use fear as an excuse anymore. You cannot use, oh, well, I'm afraid of getting this. I'm afraid of her me tooing me, and I'm afraid of this, and this might happen, and she might tell the cops, and Listen, bro, you got to get out there and you got to see how these women respond to you for real. And you got to practice, and you got to learn what a positive reaction looks like as opposed to a negative reaction. Then you also have to learn what to do in each situation to say, okay, this chick is not feeling me physically, so I need to ease up, or I need to just exit the conversation. Or I see this chick is feeling me, so I need to take it a little bit further. So, because if she's feeling me, then that means I can be raunchy. That means I can say something that might be a little bit vulgar. And what, like I said before, I'm gonna finish it right now. Like I said before, you can whisper it in her ear, because one of the biggest things about being vulgar or talking about sex is not that she really don't want you to talk about sex, is that she don't want anybody else to hear. She wanted to keep it between you and her.
Whisper that shit to her.
Yeah, you gotta know how to get close to a woman and whisper these things. You got it.
Yeah, let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Hold on real quick. Let me just say this real quick. I want to make a point, because there's 10 points I want to make with how you interact with women, communicates a lot about yourself. Miles, you mentioned fear, and that's point number 8. Fear of vulnerability, hesitancy to make a move. Let me just talk about being vulnerable, right? A lot of times when people talk about being vulnerable, they take it out of context. If you are a truthful, honest, transparent person who doesn't lie, you will always be the most vulnerable person, because you're going to be the most ridiculed. People who lie don't get ridiculed because they're people pleasers. They say things that they think people like. But when you are a truth teller, you just say what's right. And sometimes people don't like that, so you will be the most ridiculed. So when you talk about a fear of vulnerability, you have a fear of being truthful, a fear of judgment. J. Roman, you got it.
Now, when Miles was talking about, leaning in that ear, I had a girl, she said once, she's just like, oh, you're just a teddy bear, right? And so I leaned in her ear and I said, hey, you know where you find most of your teddy bears at? And she was like, where? I said, on the bed.
On the bed.
I said, we need to talk about what happens when a teddy bear hugs you back. Oof. And then she, she kind of looked at me. I stared right in those eyes, right? Because if you're going to land it, somebody, hey, the old expression, if you're going to land the plane, land the plane. Land the plane. Right? So you can't timidly land a plane. So, right. I stared right in her eyes. I said, oh, we'll talk about it later. I walked away to enjoy myself. So, she understood that, hey, when it's time to make the statements and to look at them and to grab them and to hold them, like, when you talk about moving the chair, I just grab the chair and I just move it to me. And they kind of look like, and I said, yeah, you was a little too far.
Yo, they love that.
And
that masculine power pulling them.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if you're at a bar, and I'll pass it to Mr. Justin. Shout out to you. He just got in. Or even like I've been at bars, right? Like going up to the bar, like the bar counter, and there's a chick sitting in a stool that turns. So I'm talking, and it turns. I turn that motherfucker to me. What's up? I grab her hand and I just turn that motherfucker, right? Well, I'm down there standing in between her legs. What's up? What's your name, right? Now, she can be like, excuse me, sir, and turn that motherfucker right back. And that's telling me she's not interested.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Justin in the building. What's going on?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Shout out to everybody in the chat who's watching. Jay, what you said was really important. The thing about landing the plane, right? Mm-hmm. Like having that internal commitment to like, this is what I said and I stand on it. The funny thing is that guys will so easily do this when confronted with a man, right? Like they're ready to throw down if necessary. They're ready to just stand on what they said. But when they face with a woman, it completely shifts. And it's like, why is that? Why can you be straightforward and stand on what you say in front of a man, but in front of a woman, you turn to jelly?
Right.
It should be consistent. Same thing all the way through.
Right. Exactly.
And I think that's what Miles was saying, and that moment is what they're afraid of. The like you say, when you turn the chair around, and if she turns the chair back, it's like, oh my God, why would you do that? And she turns her chair back. Most guys are afraid of that moment, so they don't even try to begin with in the first place.
Right.
Just of the negative response.
See, and Jay Roman, and here's the thing. I don't care about what her response is going to be, because I don't know what it's going to be. I just know what the fuck I want to do, right? So if I'm having a conversation with a woman, everything I do and or say should be in alignment with what I'm trying to do. So if I approach her and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to fuck the shit out of her, it makes sense that I would grab that chair and turn that shit to me. Like, what's up? Right? It makes sense that I would do that, but y'all got it.
Yep.
And I think at that moment too, some guys will miss the negative response, but they're still looking at you. And sometimes they give that negative response while they're still looking at you, which is basically giving you a little more ground. Like they want to see who you are. Are you going to come over that and say, no, that ain't fading me. That's your normal default response. This is what I'm looking for.
Right.
You know, I like to tell people, hey, I'm looking for some cartwheels and backflips. I just came into your life. Right. So like if that's not what I'm getting, either you have the opportunity to do that or not. And I don't care which either way, because the negative doesn't really affect me. There's been too many positives going on.
I'm not married to the outcome. I'm not married to it. All I want to know is, does this woman deserve my attention beyond this conversation?
Right.
Depending on her response, it's either going to be yes or no. Guys, we do got some questions, and I want to get to them before times run out on us and shit, and give you guys an opportunity to get some coaching.
Guys, call in, please, real quick. Please call in now as opposed to later. We're I'm not staying past the time, guys. I'm not doing it. So 844-672-7300. Go ahead and call in. Right now, we do free calls on this show, so you have no excuse. We're not asking you for anything, although you can still, send something to the Cash App or whatever. So, that's cool too. But guys, go ahead and call in. It's a free call. It's 844-672-7300. All right. Appreciate it.
So Philly asks, and Justin, I'm going to pass this to you first when I finish the question. Is it okay to dominate and have a good sub to worship me? I don't even like that. And just be a side bitch if she really wants to, in verbal contact, I guess, for me to use smut on what? AI Matrix. Bro, what the fuck? Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I don't understand that last part. The for me to use smut own AI Matrix dark web underworld. Like, please, guys, just a reminder. Before you hit enter after typing in your question, just check it for grammatical clarity. Okay? Use periods, use commas, and make sure that the damn question makes sense. All right? Don't just spit your verbal diarrhea up in here, Like, we're professional, you be professional too. So is it okay to dominate and have a good sub to worship me and just be a side bitch? See, this to me says that you don't understand power dynamics at all. Because a woman who has gotten to that level where she is in state of worship and service, that means you've developed something. right? That there's foundation, that there's actually a full-on nurturing and developmental based dynamic, right? Like side bitch doesn't go into that, right? Side bitch is like, you don't even pay much attention to them at all, and they just kind of do whatever. You use them for sex or whatever you want to do. Maybe you're just into spanking or whatever, I don't know. But if she's a good sub and there's worship going on there, in my estimation, if that's what's happening, this really isn't a dynamic. You just have like an unsettled girl. She's untethered. You're not grounding her. You're not leading her. You're not developing her. I really don't think you understand what the hell's going on.
I agree. And let me just say this real quick, because I think a lot of guys, y'all confuse a woman's clinginess and all of that with her worshiping you when she's just really a chick with low self-esteem. She's insecure. She's very possessive because she doesn't know how to get and keep a man. So what she does is she just applies pressure and inundates you, right?
Yeah.
And y'all think, man, she's all on me, bro. She's always sweating me, asking me where I'm at, want to see me all the time. No, bro. She worried about you fucking with other chicks. She's worried about being alone, and she just needs to be up under a man because she don't know what to do with herself, right?
Yeah, super high neededness is not worship. Absolutely.
Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, and there's a big difference. But to your point, see, a lot of guys, they just listen to shit on the internet, and they don't. And you mentioned foundation, okay? And this is what I would say about the foundation. If you're not a man, if you don't know how to be a man, independent of what you're doing with women, if you don't know how to be a man, just the foundation of being a man, everything you do that's an extension of you being a man, you're going to corrupt. You're going to fuck it up because you don't have no foundation or structure in your life, right? So even with women, y'all think because y'all having sex with chicks and y'all spend the night with these bitches and taking trips, y'all think y'all doing something, right? When in actuality, everything you do is based on what the woman is doing, right? You're taking cues from her, you're following her, right? And there's no real leadership. And this is how you know there's no real leadership. Are you dealing with women strictly on your terms? If the answer is no, then who's leading who? Y'all got it.
No, I'm not gonna lie. It threw me off with the AI Matrix, dark web, underworld, and I'm wondering how you could have a sub and then be a bitch at the same time. Like I don't. So this question was beyond me. I was glad Justin was here because this is not any of my language. So AI means it's fake to me. So I don't know. Smut means something totally different to me. And then smut means some illegal stuff you shouldn't be looking at. So yeah, let's get that's up to everybody else.
Weird. Yeah, it's a weird question.
So
try again.
All right, there we go. So he says, failing, I'm assuming, to let a woman know about intimacy automatically put me on a friend zone. Are you asking? Bro, y'all be real quick. Y'all ask questions like we know you. Like we're watching you do whatever you're doing, and we're like, yeah, I can see that you did that. Nigga, we don't know what you're doing, right? Also, her attraction to me is that relevant, escaping the I'm assuming that English isn't your first language. But here's the thing, okay? The fact that you're talking about the friend zone like it's an obstacle to overcome, a woman really can't put a man in a friend zone, right? You guys, anything that happens to you in dating, you're a willing participant in.
Exactly.
Right. Period. Anything that happens to you. If the chick is calling the cops on you and lying, if the woman is busting you upside your head with a ketchup bottle, shout out to Steve, right? Whatever is happening to you, right? You are a willing participant in that shit, right? And I'm not saying women aren't wrong or aren't culpable, but at the end of the day, if you're having issues, bro, that's 100% on you. Y'all got it.
I don't understand the question here.
Yeah, I don't either. Again, guys, check your grammar. Make sure that it's a coherent question before hitting enter, please.
Did this nigga really hit us with a true and false question? This must. He said if a man doesn't lead properly, a woman won't know if she's interested in her. No.
If he's interested in her. Yeah.
Oh, if he's interested in her. Yeah, you leading or not leading properly has nothing to do with your interest in a woman. You can desire a woman and a woman can know it and you still be a horrible leader, right? If she feels compelled to lead, the situation is screwed from that point. And since things, okay, guys, okay, here. And I did a video about this, I don't know, probably a year or two ago. here's the thing. This is how a lot of women think. I'm not saying all women think this way, right? A lot of women feel when you approach them as a man, they feel they have the upper hand or the advantage because they know you want something from them, right? And the reality of it is, a lot of times women don't even know if you have anything worth them dealing with, right? Just because you're cute, that don't mean anything to a woman, right? That means nothing, right? So when you guys approach women, in many cases, they feel like I have leverage. He wants something from me. So what typically happens is once you begin to interact with a woman, she knows whether or not you're the kind of guy she can lead or whether or not you're the kind of guy that she can't do that to. That she either has to fuck with as far as following him or she has to leave him alone. Women can interact with you for a couple of minutes and kind of pin you down a little bit, right? For most of you guys, right? Now, if you're dealing with a man like myself and these men on the panel and these other men that we rock with, where there's complexities to you, then no, you're not going to be easily figured out. But a lot of you guys, you're easily figured out simply because it is, because you're camouflaging yourself. Women are used to that. Women are used to indirect guys, ambiguous guys. But they're used to that. So when you're doing that, you just remind them of every other guy. Yeah, I got it.
I just think some women like lamos, but do you like yourself being a lamo? So I think that's more important than, you know, if she has to do this or she has to do that. What do you think about yourself? There's been situations that I've interacted and the lady was just fine, but I didn't like how it was in that situation. And that's more important to me than her approval of whatever I'm doing, is what I think of myself. So
there you go. All right, you want to move on to the next one? Let's grab the next one.
I just want to say real quick on here. And actually, first of all, shout out to Steve if he's still watching. He popped into the chat real quick. But yeah, if you're asking this question, you already are not. You're not on the level, like, because you would already understand these things. Okay, so just know that, like, if you're questioning about like how to lead, does this happen, does that happen, like, you got work to do. Right. So like, it's obvious if you have poor leadership, obviously she's not going to follow you. Like, you shouldn't have, it's not a complex math equation here.
Exactly. And let me just say this real quick. Just because women are going out on dates with you or having sex, that doesn't mean they're following you.
No,
that doesn't mean that. Y'all got it.
No,
I who you build should be for you, and it shouldn't matter for a male or female, because you are solid with who you are. So just an experience I had is, you know, somebody I was talking and it was like, oh man, you know, here you are with a story, and I had to stop it. And I said, hold on, man, I'm not telling you a story. I have life experience. I've grown and have life experience. And he's like, oh, my bad. You know, I didn't mean to. I was like, yeah, if I'm telling you something, it ain't a story. It is what it is. I don't make up things to please you. And so, you know, it's at that moment, it wasn't about if that was a female or a male. It's just who I am and how I want to be viewed. And I think a lot of guys have to understand that if you're building your image for her, your image is already messed up, because it's not. It should be for you. And then the interaction comes, you know, from her dealing with you. And so that's why you put yourself in the friend zone, because you led the situation to a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let me. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I say this all the time, that no matter what you do, you're always leading. So you lead to the friend zone, you lead to rejection, you lead to greatness, you lead to ambiguity, you lead to arousal, you lead to, you know, a dry pussy, you lead everything, whether you're trying to or not.
And let me say this about leadership, right? To your point, Mr. Justin, there's good leadership and bad leadership. So if you are a good leader, that's going to manifest itself in how women respond to you. If you are a bad leader, conversely, that's going to manifest itself in how women respond to you. It's a fact, and women will tell you this. When you, and this is what I should have had that fucking clip. When women are first dealing with you, they're peeping how you're making choices. They're peeping the choices that you make, right? And I'll give you a prime example, and I talked about this. If you take a woman out on a date, let's say to a Brazilian steakhouse or a 5-star restaurant or whatever, women can kind of tell whether or not you might actually got it or not. Right? They can kind of tell, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's going to be accurate. And because I told a story that a woman told me, where a guy took her out to the restaurant, and she just got the notion that he really couldn't afford it because he kept trying to look for the prices because they didn't have the prices. She kept trying to look for the price. So she's like, he's never been to a restaurant like this. I don't think he knows what he's about to be in for when that bill comes. So she tried to save him. She said, look, I appreciate the thought, but we don't have to eat here. We can go somewhere else. Most women won't do that. 99% of women will not save you motherfuckers. Right. They're going to let you go through your shit, right? So my point is, women can kind of tell what's going on with you guys, right? So don't think you're getting over on a woman, but y'all got it.
Guys, call in. Go ahead and call in. 844-672 844-672-7300 844-672-7300. Go ahead and call in.
Okay. I want to get back to my point because I kind of forgot my point because I was talking about leadership, right? And bad choices. So part of leadership and what makes a woman trust you is she's peeping the choices you make for yourself. If you make bad choices in your own life, ain't no way in hell she's gonna let you make choices in hers, right? It ain't gonna happen, right? So this is a lot of you guys, you think because you're being friendly and kind and all that to women, you think that matters in the grand scheme of things. Women are always watching you. Whether it's a conscious or an unconscious thing on her behalf, they're always peeping what you're doing, right? So again, if you're making bad choices for yourself, why would a woman want to follow you? And not only that, if you are a pussy beggar, if you're the type of guy where you call into work to get some pussy and you make adjustments to your personal life to make room for her, she's looking at you like, you do this with all the chicks you just met. I can't trust you.
Right.
Because look at what you do. You know what I'm saying? You literally make changes to your life for a new woman. No, not a woman, and I'm not saying a man should make changes to his life at all or accommodations. But if you were gonna do that, wouldn't you do that for a woman who's earned that consideration? Not a chick you met a week ago?
Right. Exactly. That's where the vetting process comes in. That's where all that stuff comes in.
All right, so we got some more questions. Go ahead and get these motherfuckers up. So I'm gonna grab it right here. All right. So he says, is it possible men can go without women or sex, or do we have to deal with them? You ain't got to deal with shit. And that's my answer. Y'all got it.
Is it possible that men can go without women? Of course it's possible. What you mean?
I go without women even when I have women.
Yeah, like what
what are you talking about?
These guys hate women, bro. See, he said, do we have to deal with them?
I think what I hear in this is, can I be a man even though I'm afraid of women? That's what I see here. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm hearing in this part.
No, what I see is a guy who women don't gravitate to anyway, because the guy who's getting women would never ask this. So women don't fuck with him anyway. So he's already in probably years and years of a dry spell. So he's saying, damn, is it possible I can stop having these urges for women? Because I don't want to deal with them at all. I don't want to talk to them, be around them. That's what it sounds like to me.
No, I totally agree. This is the type of dude that says, well, you pay for it anyway. This is the guy here that is gave up. I look at them like they gave up on interacting with women. He just threw it in. You guys have been whooping my ass. Women have been whipping my asses for years. Mm-hmm. I think I fall in love, and next thing you know, she's with this person. I take her on dates, and I do all this stuff. And I don't know which pill it fits, but this seems like one of those pill things. And I think that more for me. That's all I hear.
Let me say this. Okay, and this is a symptom of sexual frustration, guys, because there's levels to it. There are degrees. This is like if you Google it and look it up. One of the symptoms of sexual frustration is guys get to a point where it literally impacts their libido and they literally begin to have a low sex drive. Like, I'm serious. It impacts them on a biological level. It's some real shit.
That's fucked.
It impacts them to the point where They stop jacking off. They stop just giving a fuck about dealing with women on any level because they're in such a low sunken place. It's literally taking a toll on their mind and their body.
Yeah, a lot of fear, a lot of self-rejection. See, you don't have to interact with women. Like there's no rules or laws. I mean, there's been some brilliant spiritual people who have just locked themselves in a fucking cave for the rest of their lives. They're fine, right? You don't have to do anything in this life. But the thing is that when a man interacts with a woman, she becomes a mirror and she will show you faster than you can see you if you were to go sit in that cave.
Video title. Thank you. Video. I gotta talk about that shit. Hold on. Keep talking.
Right. So you don't necessarily need that. Like, let's say you got great introspection, great self-awareness and things like that. Sure, that's fine. You can develop totally fine. But you put a woman in front of you, and if your ego doesn't defend against itself, and you let the L's permeate through your ego, you will learn so much and so much faster about yourself by interacting with women, if you allow it, if your ego can handle it. All right. But about the sex part, like when you get to the other side, okay, like when you come like living in my neighborhood, you don't really care that much about sex. It doesn't really do anything for you anymore, right? Because you realize it does something for her. And that's something that she earns. It's nothing that tethers to you that can pull you this way or that. There's no influences beyond what is on your program. And sex should not be part of your whole system. You shouldn't be part of your guiding system that allows you to do right and wrong and stay true to your program.
Just you said something profound, and I want to speak to that. You said you get to a point as a man where sex does nothing for you, but it does something for her. And I've been at this point for the better part of my adult life where I don't even fuck to nut anymore. Like I can have sex and enjoy it and not ever climax. Why? Because I'm an attentive lover. I can unlock that woman. That woman still can be unlocked. I'm straight. I know what it is with me. A woman can't really teach me anything with regard to that, but I can still unlock her. So I derive great pleasure from doing what I do sexually to a woman, because it's not about me trying to please myself, right? And I think for a lot of guys, when y'all approach women because you're desperate or you're just sexually frustrated or you're going through a dry spell, even if you don't realize it, your energy is, let me fuck you so I can please myself. Let me use your pussy to jack my dick off, right? And a woman, you got to understand, when you're talking about enticing a woman sexually, what does she get out of it? What does she get, right? So even the way that you're talking to women, the way that you communicate yourself to women can kind of sense whether or not they might actually have an enjoyable experience with you because of how you communicate yourself. But if you are on that pussy begging shit, you're more like, please let me use you for a nut. I'm tired of using my hand. Let me use you. Right. And a woman is like, no, thank you.
Yeah, because once she realizes that once she understands or senses or feels that you have this lust, that you have this high desire, by default, it puts her in a position of being in control. That puts her in charge. And that's where you get this whole thing of like, men control relationship access, women control sex access. Yeah, that's because you have this hunger that needs to be tethered. It needs to be leashed. And you're putting the end of the leash in her hands and saying, you decide, you have the power, you're in control. And trust, women do not want to be in this position. They do not want to be in control. So to prevent that from happening, you have to control your lust. You got to control your hunger.
Yeah.
So now we know why he asked the question. I said what I did. I said dry spell. That's exactly what he's on.
I'm listening to you guys, and I'm glad you had some further clarification for individuals out there. I like the sweet feel of that velvet walls. I like to bust, but I'm an attentive lover, and I get pleasure out of that, and very commandish, bedroom bully, some may say.
Womb wrecker.
But I go in there with the intent to rearrange the furniture for you. to make things seem new.
Push the walls back.
Yeah, but I like it, but I love me more. And I love the things that I want to be done, and I love the things that I ask for, and I love the things I love that more than that feeling. So you can't threaten me with that feeling. That's an empty threat. So to say I can't get this is like, I don't, that's something that we're going to do if we're on the same page, and I want to do that. But at the same time, I prefer you clean up this house. That's what I need you to do. Like, you can't withhold something from me as a threat, because it's not on that level for me anymore.
Right. And I'd add this: you can't withhold something from me when I'm the source.
Yeah. So
see what I'm saying? Like,
God damn it. Withholding sex, same thing.
I'm
the
and
source.
It's like withholding sunlight from the sun.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, the pleasure derived. See, and I was saying this the other day. Like, dudes don't even understand what they're really trying to do when they say they want to have sex. Because a lot of these dudes, they do. Even what we're talking about today, does your interaction style scream friend zone to a woman? The reason why a lot of these guys fall into the friend zone is because they are trying to, during interaction, verbal interaction, or upon meeting a woman, they're trying to make the woman comfortable, right? In the hopes of having sex, not understanding that it is the uncomfortable that the woman seeks. You understand? Like we was just talking about, rearranging the walls, pushing the furniture back, and shifting her insides. That's uncomfortable. So the whole time you trying to quote unquote make her comfortable, when the whole thing is to make her uncomfortable, right? Be not afraid to let her know exactly what you want, but learn how to do it. Learn how to make her comfortable with the uncomfortability that's associated with you. That's literally what sex is. You understand? Because she has to get used to the shape of you. She has to get used to the stiffness, the hardness, the positions you're going to put her in. You understand? And then that's when once she starts to get comfortable, that's when the pleasure comes in. But it's always pain before pleasure. You understand? But if, as a man, if you're afraid to let that woman feel the initial discomfort, then you'll never actually get to the pleasure.
Yeah, and like I go in a way of the discomfort is in my lack of acting on desire, right? Because she's so used to guys. Now, at a certain level, I think it's important to guys not beat around the bush and just be direct with what they desire. Okay,
right.
But beyond that, once you learn you're comfortable with that level of things, then it's the level of being comfortable with not acting on these things, but letting her understand, I'm a sexual being. I'm just not pushing it up on you. And to illustrate this, okay, and that adds pressure on her. Okay, because she's surrounded by dudes who are hungry, either by indirect or direct means. Okay, now check this out. If you guys ever seen the Sean Connery 007 movies, in my opinion, he's the best James Bond, the best one.
Agreed.
He's just so smooth and like so like classic, masculine and relaxed. He is never ever pushing up on a woman. But the way he interacts, his vibe, okay, not necessarily his words, but his vibe is like, I'm a sexual being. I will take you. All you got to do is just come to me, right? But he's not pushing up on her. He's not taking a single step in her direction, and he's willing to walk away, and he doesn't care. And that fear, that gap that's there, that he's not closing, that causes some discomfort. And she's like, wait a second, this guy's attractive. He's not pushing up on me. I feel his sexual nature, but he's not putting it on me. But that makes me want to put it on him. And that makes me doubt myself, because I'm cute, I'm pretty, I'm sexy. All these other guys, they're always up on me, but he's not doing anything. What's wrong with me? And that makes her want him even more. And he's like, hey, I'm going to my room now. I'm staying at this thing. This is my room number. Meet me if you want to. And he just walks away.
So, Mr. Justin, to your point, you said she felt his sexual nature, and women can feel it. It's an energy, right? Now, here's the thing. He walked with a quiet dominance. He wasn't overbearing. He wasn't in your face. He was just very confident, and he moved that way, right? He didn't have to speak about it because people felt it. To your point, she can feel it. And here's the thing about letting women know that you desire them. It doesn't have to be verbally.
Right.
It can be by your presence. It can be how you interact with them. And you don't have to even, guys, you don't have to be R-rated or X-rated with your language. You can get your point across with the combination of your physical presence and the things you elect to talk about, and just how concise and precise you are with your words, getting to the point. Because women, guys, when you're having a conversation with a woman, okay, hold on real quick. I'm about to get this motherfucker up out of here. Hold on real quick. Delete that shit. Okay, cool. All right. So I just want guys to understand again, to Justin's point, to his point. You still need to let women know that you are a sexual being with the way that you communicate. Even if, like, and I tell my guys all the time, for the guys who don't really want to engage in casual sex, they would prefer to, establish some kind of a meaningful bond or a connection with a woman first. There are guys out there who move that way, which is fine. But even women still need to understand where you're coming from. And then to your point, Justin, women are going to be salivating like, give it to me already. Why are you teasing me? Baby girl, look, this dick is right here for you. It ain't going nowhere. Just take your time. Right? You can be that guy too. Right? But you still need to move a certain way though. Y'all got it. Oh, let me hit the 999 super chat. He says, your favorite nephew had to come break bread at the table with the OGs. I'm pulling them every time y'all feed us this game. God bless you, brothers. Thank you, brother, for the super chat.
Thank you. And I just wanted to mention really quick, based on what you just said, Zag, about the presence and things of that nature, to shamelessly plug myself, my most recent live was about this. It was about how one can express their domination without being so overt. And part of it has to do with your presence.
Quiet dominance. You just, and here's the thing, right? Because I had a client one time. He was telling me, and I've experienced this as well, but I had a client, he was out and about with one of his boys. And one of his boys introduced him to this girl he just met. And the girl ended up coming to the other guy because he was sitting down chilling. And she says, "You're so quiet, I like that." And then he ended up fucking her. Right? And when I say quiet, guys, I don't mean that, oh, I'm gonna do what he did. I'm just gonna sit off in the corner in the shadows and just not say nothing. No, that's not what it was. Because she had already been introduced to this guy. He's sitting down to himself, chilling. So she's studying him, right? So to your point about the James Bond thing, when he talks to women, he doesn't get sexual with them. He just talks to them regular, right? But he has a way about the way he speaks to them that pulls women in. It's the way that he speaks. And I talk about even being flirtatious. You can be playfully flirtatious and sexually flirtatious, and you can mix them in your conversations. Y'all got it.
Fair. All right, guys.
We got some questions. Let's grab these motherfuckers before time runs out on us.
What you said, Zach, though, I want guys to be cautious to don't change your personality or be somebody that you're not, because it won't be genuine and it won't have the same reaction. That guy quiet over in the corner, that's just the way he is.
Exactly.
He decided to be that person, just be quiet in the corner. But when you're doing it just for the intent to try to attract, so you're sitting in the corner and you thinking, I'm doing the same quiet man technique here, but your eyes are staring at the girl that you want to come over and talk to you. Like, I'm being quiet. Look at me. I'm being quiet. Look at me. No, it's not you. It's not the same feeling. So you got to learn who you are, your personality, your manhood, your mentality, and then you go from there. But my thing is, like, I've seen too many people try to do something that somebody else was doing that they thought was cool. Like, oh, that's going okay. Next time I'm at the bar, I'm gonna say that. Like, nah, it's not you. You're not saying it the way that person said it. You got to know yourself and go from there.
Exactly. So Eugene says, no disrespect, but when I direct, it never works. When it comes to sex, am I doing something wrong? So being direct works 100% of the time. And I often see this when guys say, that doesn't work. And what you're talking about is sex. So the problem, Eugene, is you are consciously, purposefully doing and or saying things strictly because you're trying to get to sex. You're trying to get to sex. Guys, you don't want to try and get to sex. All you want to do is introduce yourself to the woman, have a real, genuine, authentic conversation with her, make sure you're flirting, and then she will reveal to you whether or not she wants your dick. She will reveal to you. See, the reason why being direct works 100% of the time, being direct isn't about sex. Being direct is about separating women. Separating the women who are willy about it versus the one who are going to waste your time. So
Facts.
if you're being direct with women and you can't get none of them, all that means is they are not sexually attracted to you. See, guys, you can't manufacture sex appeal. You can't manufacture it. Either you have it or you don't.
Right.
Y'all got it.
Yeah, Eugene is led by pussy. It's so funny. Like, you guys want to be like, I want to be a man, I want to be a leader, I want to dominate, yet you ride on the coattails of pussy.
Exactly.
You worship pussy. You're hungry for pussy. You fiend for pussy. You're obsessed with pussy. And you do whatever it takes, whether it's pretending to be masculine, and whether it's like masquerading as dominant or being sideways and learning some fucking PUA bullshit nonsense. All of that is a cope for the fact that you are addicted to the validation that you get from pussy. All of this stuff. Now I get it. If you're a young dude, you're 20 years old, fine, right? You know, just go have your fun, right? But the thing is that when I'm direct, I'm checking to see if she's worthy of my time, if she's worthy of my attention. The only thing I give for free is curiosity. That's it. That is the only thing that's free. Everything else, my attention, my time, my resources, my dick, the magic that I can do in her mind, her heart, and her soul, and her body, all of that must be earned. And that's what I'm checking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Not just that she's sexually interested. I don't give a fuck about her pussy. It's meaningless to me. Okay. Because I want to see if what else she has that will make her worthy of everything else that I have.
See, there you go. And let me just say this, and I want guys to understand, when you are a man and you understand your value and you understand how the women you encounter covet that value, you're not just going to give it away because the chick is cute and she wants to fuck. Right? And here it is. I know all of you guys have been here. Once you've gotten to the point where you actually turn down sex from women you are actually attracted to, you will see the power you truly possess. You will see it where you literally, a woman wants to fuck and you're like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass.
Yeah, if you're in a situation where you get it, where it's very clear that the woman wants to fuck, and you lean in, right? Try this. Lean in and say, acknowledge that there's a desire to have sex, right? Then get her to say it verbally, right? Just in your ear or whatever. Just get her to say it verbally, I want to fuck her. I want your dick so bad, right? And then go into her ear again and say, prove it without touching me. And then just sit back. And then just sit back in your chair and wait and just see what happens. Say nothing and see what she does. Watch her squirm.
Let's see how creative she is.
You're right.
Because Justin, and you know, like I know, she ain't never had a man say that. She was like, what? Huh? What?
Yeah.
What?
Prove it.
You wouldn't know what to do.
I don't believe you. And then let you try, say, I'm not convinced. And pretend like you're gonna get up and walk away. And it's no, wait. And that'll tell you the desire is even higher, right? Okay, all right, fine. I'm waiting. I'll give you 60 seconds. Go.
This is exactly why you guys need to go over to thedominanceacademy.com and go check out what Justin got over there. I'm serious.
But thank you. But the point is that you can't be in that state of that's leading this thing. Like, I'm not even leading the steps. I'm making the steps that I'm leading them onto.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that if you're hungry for pussy.
Right.
You can't do that if you're worshiping and addicted and following pussy. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it puts you in a whole different position. Like, you're literally paving the yellow brick road that you're having her walk down. It's ridiculous, you know. And I talk about this all the time. Like, guys come at us talking about, oh, I want to learn how to last longer in bed, and I want to do this and I want to do that. And it's like, But like you said, Mr. Justin, you're controlled by the vagina itself. So how could you even last as long as you want to last? How can you even do what you want to do? How can you even, you can't speak to her. You can't really lead the situation. You have no control over yourself because you're controlled by your lust and your desire. You don't understand the power you have. Because, the thing is that even though we want something, like even if, let's switch it to money, right? A lot of people don't understand that even if we want to become rich, it's not the money that you're seeking. It is building the resources, the knowledge, and taking action to be the guy that can create the cash flow, that can create the value that people are willing to pay for on that level to bring the money to you. You see, this whole thing that we do as far as talking about game and, having these conversations, a lot of you think it's to get women. No, it's about becoming the man. It's about becoming the man that women get. It's about becoming the man that women want. It's about becoming the man that just like you're talking about with Sean Connery and his presence. When you have a certain presence, these things become a part of it. It becomes a part of your existence. It becomes a part of what we're talking about. It's not anything that you need to try to force. It's that it's I'll even bring it to working out. It's like it's not about I want to bench press 300. It's like, no, you have to actually put in the work, become the guy that's strong enough to bench press 300. It's not just about your desire to want to bench press that shit. You got to create the fucking the tension in your chest muscles to actually get it done. You understand? And so when you actually get to the level of benching 300, it's not just about the weight. It's about the strength and the value that you've built in your muscles, in your arms and all that shit. And not just that either, the mental fortitude, the breathing technique, like everything, all these things play a part in lifting that 300 pounds. You understand? So it's not really just about the weight. It's about training yourself. It's about becoming the person that can actually do that.
Miles, I think
there we go. We have another question, but go ahead, J. Roman.
On that point too, me and my buddy, we were coaching and we played ball and stuff, and I played with them, and we were in the weight room with our players, and when the guys like, hey, come live with us. So we just started piling on, the plates. I think it's like 425, and I lifted like 3-4 times, and he gets down and he lifts it like 6 times. He had to lift it more than me, but he lifted, just that competition. Right. And the reason I say that is the next day, I was paying for it. I felt like my shoulder was out of place. I felt like, just everything on my right side was hurting. And, I call him up and I'm like, dog, we were dumb. Like, we don't lift like that anymore. Right. We used to, what I'm saying? When we go work out, 225 is what we work out with. We don't work out with anything higher than that. Right. Like, what made us do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, me and him are laughing and talking because he's hurting too. He's like, yeah, man, my shoulder, my back is hurting, and I'm just like, if you don't keep things in a regular repertoire or practice or you're doing, something could happen one time, but it's not going to be consistent. And at the end run, it's not going to last because it's not really you. And I think that's the thing that the guys have to understand, that even with that question, he goes, every time I do this, it doesn't work out for me. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Well, there probably is. Number one, there probably is something you're doing wrong. And 2, have you ever thought that maybe you were saying the right things? It was just to the wrong person because that person doesn't feel in you.
Exactly.
There you go. See, this is what guys think. Guys think I can say something sexual to any woman and it should work. No, it don't work, guys. And I said this. It's like when guys be asking what to say. You can't ask a confident man what to say and then it comes from an insecure man's mouth. It's not going to come out the same way because it's coming from a different place. You're motivated to say what you're saying because you want pussy. I'm saying what I'm saying because it's a part of my personality and it has nothing to do with pussy. It just so happens that women like what I say and it leads to pussy. Yeah, but I'm not saying that for that reason.
And then if you have the attitude that every time I say this, it never works out, how confident are you saying it next time you say it?
Exactly.
There you go. It's not coming from a place of confidence. Because here's the thing. If you're second guessing yourself, you already lack confidence. You're second guessing yourself. And here's the thing. And I said this in a recent video. A lot of you guys, you hint at sex. You hint at it. Like, even when we talk about foreplay, right? When we talk about foreplay, we talk about physical foreplay. Kissing a woman, touching a woman, getting her all hot and bothered. So my question to you guys is this. If you're not having physical foreplay with a woman and you want sex, that means you have to have mental foreplay with her. So are you doing that? See, guys, they just walk up on women and say shit and think women's supposed to automatically want to fuck. Bro, what are you saying to get her juices going? What are you doing? You can't just walk up on women, tap them on the shoulder. Hey, you want some dick? What are we doing?
Yeah. They come at it in the way that they would like it to happen to them. So for guys, because we can get aroused like that, right? But women are more like an oven. You know what I'm saying? So they would like it that like woman just comes up and goes, "Hey, you want me to suck your dick?" Right? And so they're thinking, okay, for me to be direct, that's the only language I know, because they don't understand nor do they know the language of women, right? So they just do whatever they know, and they're like, "Hey, you want to fuck?" And they think that's being direct. No, being direct means accessing her mind, right? And tapping into her emotions, which starts stimulating her core.
There you go. And let me say this real quick. To your point, Justin, this is what guys do. And this is a mistake that probably 99% of men make. Y'all look at attraction strictly through a man's lens. Okay, you never look at it through a woman's lens, right? And let me just give you an example. Most of you guys, you can walk through a grocery store on a busy Saturday and quickly point out 20 chicks you would fuck. I would fuck her. I would definitely fuck her. Just by looking at her, right? Women don't operate that way. Women are not going to walk, I will fuck him, fuck it. No, because a woman can see a man who's handsome and it does nothing for her, right? Women aren't encountering men on a daily basis who look so good, they'll fuck them right away. I'm not saying they don't run into that, but it's not like men, right? And the main reason why it's not like men is because women have already had sex with good-looking men who didn't know how to fuck. So now when they run into good-looking men, they understand that the looks don't mean shit. So now what they go by is the behavior and the presence of that man to kind of gauge whether or not they might have a pleasurable experience with him, right? This is why your behaviors matter. How you talk, having a mouthpiece. Justin, you said enticing a woman. Here's the funny thing. The problem with a lot of you guys, you're trying to entice women. No, bro, just have a conversation. And either she's enticed or she's not. Yeah, I got it.
What's funny is that it's the attraction that woman can feel towards a guy that she just sees randomly. It does happen, but usually it's not because of what anything he's done or what he looks like or anything like that. Sure, that might catch her eye, but what makes her aroused is actually what she does to her own mind. Okay. Right. So let me tell you this. So I was like, one of my girls, she was on the subway, okay, here in New York. And she looked over and she saw that like occasionally police officers will be in the subway cars, just kind of monitoring things. And she looks over and she sees this officer and she's like, he's cute. Right. But that quickly jumped into a whole fantasy of him detaining her and having his way with her in order to extract whatever. I don't know. I can't remember the details of the fantasy, but her arousal, she did to herself. Which means if it can be done, it can be done, whether it's by her or someone else. You see what I'm saying?
To your point.
So it's not just the look. That was just a little stepping stone to kind of like get things going. But what sent her into that place of desire and her panties getting wet while she's sitting there on the train, that was all in her own head, by her own head.
To your point, Justin, I have a client who is a masseuse. And he had a client, and I talked about this. He knows I talked about this in a previous video. He had a client that was coming into his place of business to where the company he worked for. So eventually she started scheduling private shit in her home. And because she had a fantasy. She had a sexual fantasy about being dicked down in her home by the handsome masseuse guy, right? So when she scheduled the joint in her home, he didn't try to fuck her the first time. So when she went to his place of business and she set up another time for him to come to the home, she told him, why didn't you try anything? I'm going to be naked the next time. So she's telling him what she's going to do. So boom, so she scheduled him to come to the crib. This time she's naked. This time they fuck, right? So the point is, to Justin's point, although she felt that she was attracted to the guy, like visually, she started creating a fantasy in her own head, because if she would have saw that guy out and about at a grocery store, she might not have even given him a second look. But because he's a masseuse, she correlated that with a fantasy. Same thing with the cop. If he would have had on regular clothes, she wouldn't have thought nothing more of it. But because he's in uniform with the cuffs, boom, 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 boom.
Doing a little Badge Bunny fantasy there.
I like that.
I can tell you this for sure. There's not one fantasy where she has the guy hemming and humming about what to do. Can I touch you? I don't think there's any fantasy where she has the guy acting weak.
You could do so.
Yeah, you don't want to be talking like that.
So real quick, because she said something. I want to point this out. That man in uniform is a fantasy for real. Let me tell y'all what I used to do when I was in the military.
Yeah.
Even when I was off, I would just put on my uniform and just go to the mall, dog. I would just put on my uniform and just go to random places, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And yo, women was feeling it, bro. I got a lot of play with that uniform, with that military.
Both people with uniform take that thing off and don't want to see it no more.
Now, bro, let me tell you, real quick, let me say this. When we got done with basic training, like when we first got to basic training, they take all your civilian clothes, all your shit, they take it away, right? So in basic training for 2 months, you don't see none of that shit, right? All you got is the military shit. When we graduated, they said, all right, go back, get your civilian shit, get all y'all shit, and if you want to change out of your uniforms, you can. Bro, nobody changed out of this shit. Nobody, not a single solitary guy. Because 2 months, nigga, I earned this uniform. I ain't taking this shit off.
Right.
So yeah, but y'all got it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and you don't even need to be really direct, like descriptive with shit, like lean over, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Because their minds, I just explained, their minds spin up all kinds of crazy shit all on their own. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Okay, so I was talking to one of my subs, and I made her laugh in the morning. She likes it when I make her laugh. And I said, laughs to start the day, tears to end it. Remember this. And so I'm like baiting her, like with this little mysterious thing. She's like, yes, you really know how to make this girl laugh, my lord. And she said, this girl is curious and would like to ask, what does tears to the end really means, my lord? And I said, this is the answer that gets us spinning, because I know she spins. It means exactly what she sees in this girl's little imagination. And then she smiled, and then I said again, yes, just like that. All of those kinds of tears. And she said, wow, this girl thought of many naughty things, but she figured perhaps my lord had a deeper, more philosophical meaning, blah, blah, blah. And then we went into like the different types of tears. You know, they're not necessarily out of like sadness or pain or anything like that. But the point is that I just kind of left this ambiguous thing, knowing that her brain is going to take those words and spin up all kinds of fantasies. And that's exactly what she did. And she thought of all these naughty things that I'm going to do to her to make her cry and, you know, whatever. And, you know, but it doesn't have to be that extreme. That's just an example of like the structure of things.
Right.
But right there, Justin, what do? You plant the seeds and you allow her mind to water them. I'm just planting the seeds. And see, even when you talk about psychology and human attraction, that's you understanding your power of influence when you're dealing with certain women, and you understand exactly how to plant seeds and then let their mind or their fantasies feed those seeds. You ain't got to do too much, but we got another question. Let's get to it. So he says,
can I say something real quick? I just want everybody, I'm going to do this PA announcement that there was a lot of groundwork that was laid before Justin did that. And I just don't want guys picking up their phone and texting, this never works for me. Like, nah, you didn't lay down the groundwork.
They need coaching.
You're right. You're right. It's not some random girl. This is a girl that I've been training since March. So she's fully sunk in. So yeah, good point.
Yeah. So and let me just say this, guys, because a lot of guys they'll hear certain things, like what you said, Justin, and they'll try to implement it, not understanding that this is decades and decades of experience that led you to the point where you can do what you do. It's not like you learned that shit last week and then you hopping on, hey, I learned this new technique last week. Let me tell all of y'all about it. No, this is years and years and years. Right. And this is what guys don't understand. It's kind of like Michael Jordan. When you watch him play, you're like, it's easy. He make it look easy and effortless. Bro, you don't see him in the gym for hours and hours and hours. Right. So there's a journey that he took. You know what I'm saying? That was a whole lot of work to get to that point. Right. So a lot of you guys, you hear us talk, but you're talking to men who've been doing this for decades. Yeah. Right. So a lot of you guys who are 23, 24, 25 or younger, and y'all just start dealing with women, you think you're going to say what we say? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it took us all these years to get the coach. No, bro, you need coaching. Right, so let's get to him. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick, it's like that story about Picasso, and he's sitting in the parks, classic story. He's sitting in this park with his art supplies, just kind of doing his thing. And this lady comes up to him and she's like, holy shit, Picasso, can you do a portrait of me? And he's like, yeah, sure, sit down. And he just does this quick sketch. It took him like, maybe 2 minutes. And he goes, all right, that'll be $1,200. And she's like, what? It's just a sketch. It took you 2 minutes. And he's like, yeah, what took me 2 minutes took 20 years of practice.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
real talk. Exactly.
You're paying for the labor and all of that it got me here. You're not paying for this little couple of minutes. But anyway, this people don't understand about value, right? So he says, when approaching groups, do you go straight for the target or greet the group? See, and what bothers me about this question, the way that you asking it, I know you've heard us talk about this before.
Yeah.
I know you have. And what bothers me is a lot of you guys, you're repetitive with your questions. And the reason why you're repetitive with your questions is because you're not taking action. Because if you were taking action, you would ask new questions related to you taking new action. But you're asking the same shit because this is what a lot of you guys really do. You look for us to talk you into getting out of your own way. No, bro, just do it. So here's the thing. This is what guys got to understand. When you see a group of women, 2, 3, 4, 5 women, what makes you think the woman you got your eye on wants you? What makes you think that, right? What makes you think that? So the problem with a lot of you guys, because you're so desperate for pussy and you want to get straight to the, I want to fuck her. You have to understand, when you approach groups of people, there's a way that you conduct yourself. Like, I'll give you an example. If I was in New York and Miles didn't know I was in New York or wherever the fuck he live at, you know what I'm saying? And I just showed up there and he was out and about with his peoples and I saw him and he was in a group. I would not go up to Miles and just, hey, Miles, and just interrupt him while he's talking to people. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you acknowledge the group because it's rude, right? It's just on some rude shit. So guys, when you see a group of women and they're conversing, introduce yourself to the group, right? And then what you do is you introduce yourself to every single woman, and the woman you got your eye on, wait, introduce yourself to her last. Get to her last, and during this time, what you're going to find is one of those other women that you're introducing yourself to might actually be into you, and the woman you want isn't. So if you pull the woman aside too soon, only to find out she's not interested, the other woman in the group who's also pretty, that is, she ain't fucking with you because you chose her friend first. Y'all got it.
It's facts.
Yeah, I say just do both, and you'll see. Like because that's how this question started. Like in the first place, like with people like trying stuff out, like fucking around and finding out. They saw a group of women, and there was one chick that they were attracted to, and they went and talked to her and experienced what they experienced in that situation. Then the other times or other guys that went out, they spoke to the whole group first. right? I say do it all so you can learn from multiple angles. Don't just try what you think or what you hear is the best thing to do to avoid pain. Like that's bullshit. Just fuck around and find out. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
There you go. There you go. And I'm glad you said that. Trial and error, because we all learned from trial and error. Do y'all think I had somebody by me every step of the way? Do this, do that. Don't do this, don't do that. No, I had to learn by trial and error. But a lot of it is just common sense. And what I mean by common sense.
And we didn't have the internet either.
We didn't have that.
And we had an audience.
Exactly.
The fellas will clown you
everybody
immediately
right there,
when you got back.
Hearing you. Everybody hearing you do what you do. So what people don't understand when we talk about just trial and error in common sense, you have to understand what's appropriate and what's not. Okay, not by society. I mean, what's appropriate and what's not based on what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is this, and he asked the question, when approaching groups, okay, what do you want, right? See, I'll use myself as an example because this is how I think. If I'm approaching a group of women, it could be where none of them are interested. It could be where one is interested. It can be where all are interested. It can be where I might pull 2 or 3 and have a little train threesome or whatever the fuck. I don't know what's gonna happen. I just know it's a group of women that I'm gonna go introduce myself to because I've introduced myself to 2 chicks and they both wanted to fuck. So you don't know what's gonna happen. All you should know is what do you want to happen, and then move that way.
I'm gonna put my mind in the callers and some of the people looking and say that, you guys want the cheat code for every situation. Now, sometimes there's a cheat code in the video game that you just press a couple buttons, you put that combination of buttons in, and then boom. And then sometimes there's a code where you have to conquer a level, and it gives you something. And the thing is, that requires some sort of work to it. So yeah, you got this panel here on Sundays where you can learn a lot of information and you can learn some of the mistakes that they have made, or not only gonna say mistakes, experiences they went through that got them to where they're at. So you can get some of the cheat code. The thing is, it does not negate you doing work for you. And I think that's the big thing. You can't take somebody else's experiences and act like you did the work too. You're still going to have to experience some things because you have to figure out your personality and who you are. I would say until you get comfortable with going straight after that target, just go ahead and introduce yourself to the group. Tell them it's nice to meet you. I just wanted to come over and meet this group of beautiful ladies, and then roll on, right? And then, go from there. But a lot of times you guys want the lesser to be the answer because you're afraid of just going straight for the target. Mm-hmm. But you ask the question, do I go for the target or greet the group? And I really want them to say just greet the group because now that's a whole nother level of just going straight for the target within the group. So, start gaining experiences and developing on top of that with advice. So,
well, let me say this real quick about talking to a group of women. Number one, I find it fun. I love it. Here's the thing, and we'll get to the call in a minute real quick, Miles. You can play some hold real quick.
Okay.
Caller, real quick. Shout out to Mr. 1950. Real quick. I think, and to Justin's point, I think you should try both, but also if you can work a crowd, you can work an individual. Yeah, I got it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 980. You are on live with the Manhood is a skill set show. We got a full panel today. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Israel 26, Nashville.
Israel, what's going on with you, bro?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I just have to call in because this topic was great. The point you guys are making about, when callers or guys, and I used to do this myself before I got on the memberships of the Masculine Identity and the Bad Boy membership, right?
Yes.
And long story short, I would try to, take the shortcuts and think that, okay, if I try to say what Miles would say or Zag or Lucario or whatever, then it would just somehow work. But, as I always tell myself, wait a minute, if I throw like a power punch in a boxing match, but with no force or oomph behind it, then how can I expect that to land and knock the other opponent out? So What I'm saying is that because I put in so much work from being on both of the memberships, for almost 3 years now, like I could literally because this is how my life is set up now, where I'm constantly busy doing things and on my business and whatnot, where I could not approach a ton of women in like a week or two, and then when I see a woman that's attractive, I approach her like it's nothing because I've already made it a lifestyle. So I don't necessarily have to go out of my way to approach hundreds and hundreds of women, because as you and Lucario have stated, that that's just a way to get yourself used to it, and then you always tell us to make it a lifestyle. So one thing that I've noticed with myself is that whenever I'm calm and I don't think, that's when the interactions 95% of the time are pleasant, whether it's rejection or not. Because one thing, and this is what I learned about my identity, is and chicks have told me like, "Wow, you just say it so casual, like like this is normal for you." And I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much." And it's like because I say say things casually, like when I tell them, "Hey, I want to exchange orgasms," and the way I say it casually, they kind of just chuckle or giggle, like, you say it like it's nothing. And I'm like, yeah, because I mean, I've been there before. And to your point, another point that you guys made, and I know, Zach, you talked about this before too, the whole thing with approaching women at the gym. See, the reason I do it is because I've done it so many times, like where I actually know what I'm doing. And because, again, I know that, okay, I'm not, the whole thing is that when it comes to approaching any woman, whether at the gym or anywhere, my first thought isn't like, oh man, I want to fuck. My first thought is like, does she have a nice attitude? Is she gonna, be all whiny and whatnot? Those are literally the first thoughts that come in my mind, or is she just gonna be another brush off or whatnot? When I literally put that at the forefront of my mind, that's when, I'm able to steer things the way I want it, because pretty much, and not to give anything away, but the vetting process really starts like even when you approach the women. So that's what I want to, share on that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that. So when you talk about the vetting process, and shout out to Miles and Lucario for that. And I talked about this, I think, yesterday. When you guys, the problem with a lot of guys, because they don't know what they want, how can you have a vetting process if you don't know what you want? So what happens with a lot of guys, they're kind of flexible and they bend to the woman's whim. So wherever she's taking it, they just follow it, right? And they follow the woman's cues and they let women dictate, right? The problem with a lot of guys is they don't have a plan, not only a plan for themselves, they don't have a plan for the woman. So the woman doesn't know where she fits. Where do I fit in your life? Because you're kind of all over the place. Like you don't know what you want, right? And that's the problem. When you have a plan, when a woman can see clearly where she fits into what you're trying to do, that makes it more enticing for a woman to consider agreeing to partake in what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. And last thing I want to share too is that, and even Steve, talked about this, when he says, you got to work hard for me because I work hard for me. And I finally get it, because it's like, wait a minute, I put so much work in for myself. So when I step to these chicks, it's like, okay, bitch, are you going to put in enough work for me? I want to see if you're going to put in work for me. And when I come with that mindset, that's when, again, 95% of the time, things end up going my way, how I want it to go. So, and the thing is too, that even, whether it's a quote unquote rejection or not, the fact that I did what I wanted to do and said what I wanted to say, that right there is always going to be the win for me, because guess what? Whether I get the chick or not, I'm still, exercising the mouthpiece. Like even Jay Roman said, like, do everything you do, like as far as like warming up the mouthpiece. So, for example, you might talk to, 5 chicks there, right? And, they might not be feeling you, but guess what? I already warmed up the mouthpiece to get or bag 2 other chicks. So, that's just how it goes. And I want to thank you guys. Like what you guys do is great. And, Miles, I know your birthday's coming up. Happy birthday. I'm going to see you in the Zoom class tomorrow.
Yeah, Sunday.
And,
yep.
The last one, man, that was epic. Like on another fucking level. I don't know what you guys are doing, but that right there, that last Zoom call literally took me to another level that I wouldn't have been able to reach on my own if in the span of 5 years. Like it would have took me longer. So shout out to you, Miles. And shout out to you guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
That's what's up. That's what's up, brother. That's what's up. And this is receipts, guy. These are real receipts.
Facts.
Where guys are being helped.
Israel, thanks for being a part of the memberships, brother. You have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the Zoom call on Sunday. All right, guys, call in. We have
sound different than originally.
Yeah, then when he first started calling in, we got about 10 minutes left, guys. So please, if you're gonna call in, go ahead and call in. We're not trying to do no overtime today, so make sure y'all call in. We got 844-672 7300 844-672-7300. Go ahead and call in, guys.
So he says, is it okay to be friends with a woman before bringing up sex? Now, retired GOAT, I'm not sure if you're a teenager, if you're a grown man. I don't want you guys thinking you have to ask other men for permission as to what you can do with women. And I understand you're asking for advice, but it's the way that you're asking it, right? You're asking it like a child would, right? And there's just a certain way that men ask questions. That's just my personal opinion. Now, let me say this, and I would ask you this question. I want you to call in. You know, the calls are free. A lot of you guys are asking these questions, and if you would call in, you probably would get more help. But my question to you would be, who told you to be a friend of a bitch first? Who told you? Like, you heard that from somewhere. Who told you that? Y'all got it.
I hate this question. We get a great phone call from a guy that I've been hearing call in the different shows that just sound different, who's kind of proven that, hey, it's a steady grind and you learn, but you have to apply it to yourself. And then you got this question here with, is it okay to be friends with the woman before bringing up sex? Not even having sex. You said bringing it up.
Bringing up sex. Yeah.
The bare minimum of it. And, you know.
And like, who brings up sex? What man is bringing up sex? She's the one who brings up sex. She's the one who wants to fuck. If your desire to fuck is greater than hers, you've done it wrong already. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, can I color inside or outside the lines type question? Like, come on, guys. Like, what Zag said, you guys are asking dumb, old, repetitive questions that you should have solved for yourself months or even years ago.
Right. If you got a certain type of question, you should have got coaching a long time ago. But we got 678. You are on live with the Manhood is a skill set show. We got a full panel today. Name, age, city. How can we help you?
Yo, my name is Armand. I'm 21. I'm in Atlanta. That's my question that y'all were responding to.
The friends with bringing up sex?
Okay, you said, is it okay to be friends with a woman before you bring up sex? What's the basis of that question? What's the scenario that made you ask that question?
Right. So there was a case where I was on a movie set, and this is I met a woman. We had similar interests. She was in college. I was in college. She enjoyed acting. I did as well. So we just connected and we were just talking as pretty much as friends with some cool shit. And like, she already knew from the jump. I ain't gonna say she knew from the jump, but like, you know, it was clear that we was kind of talking, right? So time passed. We on FaceTime. We texted. She sent me videos of her cooking. And this is before I tuned in. I usually listen to Steve, but this is before I tuned in to anything on y'all end. Like, we would like exchange voice chats and stuff through the text, video text. I mean,
yeah, but what were y'all talking about though? Yeah. What do we? So okay, get to the point where your question comes in, bro. We don't really need everything unless we ask you.
For sure, and we were cool for a minute, and like I said,
a minute. How long?
What's a minute? What's a minute?
I'm gonna be honest, probably like 2 weeks at this point.
Okay.
So say 2 weeks. Don't say a damn minute.
Yeah. Caller, be a little more precise in what you're saying so we can understand. Go ahead, caller.
All right, so
for 14 days.
Huh? 2 weeks. And one night I'm on a FaceTime with her late night. She asked me, do I like her, right? And, you know, I kind of laughed at it at the time. I didn't really know how to answer that. Cause I ain't.
You didn't know how
stop
to
right there. Yeah. Caller, real quick. Caller, hold on. Caller, real quick. Caller, hold on, brother. Because I came in a little late. I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
21.
So, because you said late night, why didn't you just invite her over?
Instead of chit-chatting on the phone with your feet up.
Or on your stomach. Why didn't you invite her over?
For one, I was about that.
Caller, I'm asking, brother, it's okay. Don't be nervous. Why didn't you invite this young lady? Now, do you have your own spot?
No.
Do you have money for a hotel?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you another question. Don't be embarrassed. We're not trying to make fun of you. Have you ever had sex before?
No.
Okay, that's
okay. That makes sense.
Explains it.
There we go.
That's why you're asking if you have to be friends to bring up sex. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have much experience. Okay, that's great.
All right.
Okay.
That's-
So, caller, let me ask you a question.
Whew. Yeah. All right.
Do you want to have sex? Do you want to date? Do you want to have a girlfriend? What do you want, sir? What do you want?
Right. And when she brought that up, like,
No. Stop.
No.
Stop. Caller. Forget the girl right now. K-Zagan just asked you a direct question. Please answer the question.
What do you want from this young lady?
Well, I want women.
No. Her specifically.
I see so many different women. It's like I
Caller, brother.
Jesus Christ.
What do you want from her? The girl in which you are talking about right now. What do you want from her?
I guess just to hit it and quit it, but I ain't trying to,
Caller, my brother. I'm asking. Look,
He's gonna fall in love.
Wait, caller. Please understand this. You said you guess just to hit it and quit it. That's an issue right there. What are we guessing about? How come if you're dealing with a woman, why can't you just decide what you want? Why are you guessing?
Because I feel like after the process, it's harder to just press the block button on.
Block. Okay, caller.
Well, of course it's gonna be hard to press the block button, right? Because you're over here for 2 weeks, FaceTiming her at night, sending voice messages back and forth, and being friends with her. So how can you just want to hit it and quit it, but you're giving her all of this friendship energy? Why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I fucked up.
Caller, a couple of things. Number one, I can assure you, this particular young lady is not going to let you hit it and quit it. and I'm gonna tell you why. She sent you videos of her cooking. She asked you, do you like her? So she has a high school mentality, as do you. Y'all have a high school mentality. Yeah. Both of you are clearly in it. Now, I don't know if she's inexperienced. She could be just putting on the front. I don't know. But if she isn't putting on the front, it sounds like both of y'all might be a little inexperienced. But your age is no excuse.
Hold on one second, Zach. Caller, how old is the young lady?
She is 2 years younger than me.
She's 2 years younger than you?
Wow.
19. She's 19.
Okay.
Man, don't hit it and quit it. Like you don't know what you're doing to lead the situation such that say like a one-time thing doesn't blow up in your face and cause her all kinds of psychological and emotional damage, right? I think you should be honest, right? Instead of trying to be some player or something like that, trying to be something that you're not. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she's probably inexperienced as well. Exactly. I think being straightforward and honest about what it is that you want, and as well as transparency about where you're at, which is not some fucking Don Juan. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just going to make things worse.
I think you found your speed. Like this is your speed. This is where you need to be as far as, because there's some women out here that take you for a ride quickly. Mm-hmm. So you in the right lane, and I agree completely with Justin. Just because you might be surprised when you bring a certain honesty. I don't like the word vulnerability. That's some transparency. It's honesty. You bring that transparency to honesty and say, "Hey, we
but
cool
still being
vulnerable." But right, I don't even like that word. Like, being honest is being honest. Like you being honest and saying what it is, and what it is like, "Hey, I don't know if I like you, but I'm at this point. I ain't never had sex before, and I'm trying to get it." Like, where we at, and you might be surprised on what she says. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, you got to be who you are. Your story is what it is. You can't pretend that. Say what it is that you want, and then go from there.
Yeah, I mean, the two of you could have a really wholesome experience here instead of trying to make it this like, this Dom Juan one night stand bullshit.
Yeah, so this is what I would say to you. Go ahead, Miles. Go ahead, Miles.
No, please go ahead, Kay.
No, real quick. This is what I would say to you. Well, two things, and I'll pass it to Miles. The first time I had sex, I just told a chick that I told her, hey, you gonna skip school and I'm coming to your house, okay? And we gonna do that. Like even the first time out, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't tripping over my words. I literally was providing, and she was sexually experienced. I wasn't. But I was still telling her, I'm coming to your crib and we're going to do X, Y, Z. So she skipped school. I went over there and we did it. So call her. This is what I would do if I were you. I wouldn't be in a hurry to just have sex because everybody else is doing it, because that's what it sounds like. If you truly, and this is just man to man, if you truly like this chick, like you like her, it's okay, brother. You can like her, right? So don't be in a hurry to have sex with her if you actually like her. Right. And I'm not saying she's got to be your girlfriend, you got to be her boyfriend. But if you want to take her out to get some ice cream or something and then see where it goes, bro, do that. Yeah, I got it, Miles.
Caller, you mentioned that y'all was cool for a minute, and which is actually 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I just want to mention, everything that y'all said was very well put. It sounds like I need to be more honest and open with myself too.
Yeah.
Clear my intentions.
Let me ask you this question: who or what is making you think that what you? Because I'm not confused. I know exactly what's going on, but I'm gonna say that I'm confused because there is confusion here. I don't understand how, when we ask you what you actually want, you just want to hit it and quit it, but at the same time, you can naturally fall into, having voice notes, cooking videos and conversations and late night FaceTimes. And how can we, I need you to explain to me hold on. What makes you naturally do all of those things? And you yourself said it, how cool you are with her, but all of a sudden you just want to hit it and quit it. Like, I don't even think you realize how much you're lying to yourself. Like it's very it's almost psychotic or schizophrenic, where you would do all of these things to become friends with this woman, but at the same time, what do you really want from her? I'm just trying to hit it and quit it. How do you allow yourself to do all of those friendship type things with a woman? Say that you're cool with her and everything is going on well, but at the same time, you just want to hit it and quit it. Can you please explain to me the discrepancy? And the reason why I'm asking this is because I'm trying to find out that maybe you got a group of friends that's influencing you and telling you this, that, and the third. Maybe because you live in Atlanta, you know that there's a lot of people out there having sex. And because you're a virgin, you feel like, well, I don't want to get stuck on one woman for the rest of my life. Are you afraid of getting stuck with one woman for the rest of your life? I'm trying to really find out where this confusion is actually coming from. If you could be honest with us.
You actually hit it pretty much on the head. It definitely had to come from outside influence and exactly feeling like I don't want to get stuck on women.
So caller, real quick, this is what I would tell you. If your boys, and I don't know, your friends, what they do, but if you have friends or guys you kick it with and they're having a bunch of sex, but you're not, you don't have to mimic their lifestyle.
Yeah.
If they outside, getting at chicks, and you at home chilling with your boo with her feet in your lap, like, nigga, I'm inside, right? If you're that guy, be that guy. Like, Carl, I'll give you an example. Prior to me having sex for the first time, I was kind of like you, right? I was the one woman guy. Like, I'm only talking to one chick. I was just like that as a teenager. But when I started having sex, I'm like, oh, that shit is done. I'm fucking all these bitches, right? So it changed, but it changed because of me. It didn't change because of somebody else or me watching somebody else. I just realized that, damn, I can do this to a chick. I got to share this shit with all the bitches, right? So I just realized that I didn't want the one woman shit no more, right? But that was for me, and I just realized that because of my experience.
And let me say before I forget, and that's why when you asked me did I forward and all that, I didn't really know how to respond at the time, because I do know that, like, man, there's so many beautiful women, like, and I know you're not supposed to have expectations or put them on a pedestal, and I didn't know that at the time, but like I said, I didn't know how to answer her question when she said that.
What does so many beautiful women, what does that mean to you?
Like other attractive women that I could find either
There's always going to be more attractive women.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. It's always going to be more attractive women. The thing is that the outside should never over influence your inside. And the inside is who you are and what you want to do. And the thing is, you don't know what to do with one attractive woman yet. So I wouldn't concentrate on so many other beautiful, attractive women.
Exactly.
And that's just dare to be who you want to be. And that's the thing. And as you're being that person, make sure you're honest with yourself and others that come in contact with that person.
Right.
That's the thing we're saying pretty much, is that you gotta, what you want is what you should be able to express. I have a saying that, people shouldn't have sex until they're mature enough to have sex. And my thing is, maturity brings communication. It brings honesty. It brings up a whole bunch of things, because I'm mature enough to have sex, to have these conversations about that. Diseases, protection, all sorts of stuff I can have conversations about and not care about being shy to mention it or bring it up or stutter to answer the question, because there's a certain maturity with it.
Right. Hey, caller, what did you say? What did you end up saying when she she asked you if you liked her on a FaceTime?
Yeah.
So you just basically you just started mumbling like this?
That you
just started mumbling, or you giggled and laughed it off? What did you do? How did you answer?
I laughed it off like a young ass kid.
Okay.
So caller, real quick, I'm gonna say this. I know we got to get ready to go.
Yeah.
Caller. So this is just food for thought. Okay, you don't have to take this advice. I'm just gonna give you an example. Now, real quick, Jillian, she says you already are in your feelings with her, and you don't want to hit it and quit it. And I don't think you want to hit it and quit it either, right? And I think you're saying that because you think all men have this, man, just pump and dump them chicks. Don't take them seriously. Nah, bro. You're still responsible for that woman, right? And what I mean by that is, once you invite a woman into your world, you're responsible for that woman, right? When it comes to her emotions and how she's responding to you. So if you know she's starting to like you and she wants more than just sex, then you need to be honest about what you want so she can make the best decision for herself. So here's an example, caller, real quick, and I'll pass it to the fellas. If you want to have sex with her, but you don't want it to be just sex, you can have a conversation with her and you can tell her that. You can be like, look, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You asked me a question the other day. Yeah, I like you. But also, I haven't had sex before and I really want to experience that with you. But I don't want it to be just sex. I want to see where it goes, but I make no promises. You see what I'm saying? Always set a woman's expectations for what's in store, so that way she knows what to expect from you. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, but the sad part is that the caller doesn't know what to expect from himself just yet, that's a real issue. And call, I'm gonna tell you right now. And you said you were a virgin, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a part of the reason why you're still a virgin. Like and you're actually lucky. You're really lucky because fate, God, whatever you subscribe to, has not allowed you to have sex because you are clearly not ready. You see what I'm saying? You are clearly not ready. So you're actually very, very lucky. I don't want you to think you're in a bad space like, oh man, I'm still a virgin. No, you're still a virgin for a reason, my brother. Yeah. And be happy, be grateful for the fact that you're still a virgin. And another thing I'll say to you too is, you really need to get some coaching or get on the membership, the bad boy membership or the masculine identity membership, because I'll tell you this, man, you're in Atlanta. Okay, you're in Atlanta. And one of the reasons why that girl may have asked you if you like her is she's trying to assess how much advantage she could take of you. You understand? So you got to be careful. There's things going on in this world. And because you're a virgin, because you're so inexperienced. And again, to say that you're a virgin is not about is not to say you're a bad person or you lame. It's saying that you're just inexperienced. So you have to take that into consideration and realize, you have to know what to expect from yourself. You have to have a certain masculine identity. You have to really know what's going on before you even get into that world, because you're going to be the type of dude that these chicks is going to get somebody to jump you because you over here trying to be their friend, but then you want to turn around and fucking dump them. You see what I'm saying? So you ain't ready for a lot of different reasons.
I want to know who's his biggest influence that he could have asked this question to.
No, he said he said he got friends and shit. But
Does he have his dad?
Let me just say this real quick, caller, and to Miles's point, she might be 19. I don't know, real quick. She might be 19, but caller, there's a good chance she knows more than you, and she could be fronting. Because here's the thing about women: women know if you're experienced based on how you talk. They know. So if she is more experienced than you, she could be playing coy. Just be aware of that. Y'all got it.
But yeah, I'd say get some coaching call. I'd say set up a coaching call with either myself, Lucario, Zag, somebody. Even Mr. Justin. Like set up a coaching call with somebody because you want to start. You're still being that you're inexperienced. You kind of want to start correctly. You understand? You don't want to. The fact that you're still in the position that you're in, you want to give yourself a chance to start off correctly, where you can get what you want. You can get as much sex as you want. You can get yourself into a long-term relationship, or you can get to a point where you're having sex with a lot of different women, since you're so focused on all the different beautiful women, and you are living in a city like Atlanta. But you got to start off correctly, bro. You can't be on no type of shit where like you don't know who you are, because let me tell you something about big cities. People who don't know who they are, they get taken advantage of the most and the quickest. You see what I'm saying?
They get swallowed up. Pause.
Yeah. You understand? So, good luck to you. But yeah, I suggest you schedule a coaching call. Get a basis first and stop listening to your friends and really get some sense about you. All right.
There you go.
No, I really do take this call here.
All right, brother. All right, thanks. All right, take it easy. Be safe.
There you go. And on that note, guys, Real Game No Theory, 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time tomorrow. Real Game No Theory. On the way out, do you fellas got anything you want to plug? We're about to get out this bit.
Guys,
I'm good.
I just want to reiterate the Zoom the Monday night masterclass Zoom call on the masculine identity membership will be Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Sunday 11 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not doing it on Monday. Just this one time because it falls on my birthday and I'll be celebrating Monday night, so I won't be there. So we'll be doing it on Sunday. I sent out an email already, so make sure you check your email. And if you're gonna join the membership, just understand that the call will be on Sunday, 11 p.m. Eastern time.
And like always, Zach, thanks for having me here. And I will say this. If anybody has any more questions, anybody has any more they wish they called or they didn't want to call and be so public or whatever, and you wanted something private, well, that's a perfect time to contact these individuals, Zag, Miles, Justin, and try to get on a program so you can get that one-on-one coaching and then go from there. Don't let your questions go unanswered.
Facts.
Yeah, thanks for having me, fellas. Always a good time. And if anybody wants to do a free consultation, I don't charge for my first one. Just go to thedominanceacademy.com and there's a tab there within the website with the link. You can schedule it and you'll get a calendar. It's very easy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on real quick. Yes. And also the link, Justin put the link, and I also put the link in the chat a few times. So go back and watch the replay and grab the link. It's in the chat. Guys, again, does your interaction style scream friend zone to women? Thank y'all for coming through. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.
All right.
Take it easy.